We're live on all the spots and all the places. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Blathering Live. I'm Ken Napzok. Episode 226, I believe, in an ongoing series of a man yelling into a microphone. Hopefully, we're much more than that. Today on the program, we'll talk a little bit of the political world. Things heating up out there as always. And, hey, if you're a CHP officer in the San Diego, Camp Pendleton area, look up, be careful. Military shrapnel probably falling down on you here. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about tactical frivolity, which is an official form of protest that has been in use for many, many centuries, perhaps most famously here in America with the Yippie movement, at least for us. Just got me thinking about this weekend in the past, No Kings rallies around the country this weekend. Also on the show, big stuff. We are going to be talking horror villains. Horror villains. Horror villains. We should do that topic at some point. Horror villains. I'll get producer Steve working on that. But horror villains is also going to be something tonight. You are going to help us prepare a blather bracket that we're going to settle in one night, October 30th. All Hallows Eve. That's right. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll explain here in a second. Important question coming in up top from Tully Quinn. Who are you rooting for in a baseball? I am rooting for the Seattle Mariners. I am absolutely rooting for the Seattle Mariners. In fact, let's get a scoreboard up and see what's going on. Has the game begun? It's in warm-ups. I like Toronto, good young kids, good young ball players over there. I also like the idea of what is now the quintessential American team, the Dodgers, facing off against the 51st state Toronto Blue Jays. I think that would be a politically rich World Series. Not that those players have anything to do with that silliness. But we got one team, and I'll bring in producer Steve on this one. We got one team, producer Steve, that has never touched the World Series grass. That is the Seattle Mariners. Let's clear the decks. Let's get them in.
I'm with you on that. Let's go Mariners. We need the big dumper in the World Series. The world needs the big dumper. Yeah. The big dumper and the Golden Trident. I'm with you. I'm all aboard the Mariners bandwagon. Let's get them in the World Series. They deserve it. From the Ken Griffey Jr. pain to the 2000 best baseball team I think I've ever seen that didn't win diddly squat. Right. Let's get it done.
Let's do this. So there you go, Tully. That's the big answer. We got calls tonight. I want you to call in. I'm going to say this, Steve. I'm going to say this right now. Okay, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say this kindly and gently. I do not want to talk about fucking Star Wars tonight on this show. Okay. There was some late breaking news in the afternoon that is interesting.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about it Friday on Force Center. Yep. Please allow me to Star Wars free zone. I please.
Do I put a little, when you put me in my producer corner, you want me to put a little banner up that's like no Adam Driver questions or something like that? I'll work on
I mean, you could, I'll gladly answer some Adam Driver questions. I watched season 1 of Girls. I don't think I watched season 2 of Girls. I was a big fan of it.
I'll be more specific.
Great soundtrack, by the way. All right, let me tell you something. Lena Dunham elicits a lot of opinions from a lot of different people, a lot of different groups. Got it. I like season 1 of Girls. What season was the Allison Williams ass-eating scene, Steve?
I think that was season. I thought it was season 1. It might have been season 2. I watched Girls. I enjoyed Girls. I know people have their thoughts on Lena Dunham. I haven't really seen a lot of other Lena Dunham things outside of Girls. Yeah. But Girls is what introduced me to Adam Driver. Right. I think Allison Williams is really good. I think all the main cast on that show actually was well acted. Was really good. They're all interesting. So yeah.
Yeah. I only bring that up because I still
my poor search history. You're gonna make me look up horrors, Allison Williams ass eating scene. Like, goddamn.
Love it. Ranger Donald says, "Can we talk about moon fights instead?" Yeah, I'll fight about the moon. Yeah, no, it's underrated. That show, that first season, had a great soundtrack, and some of my favorite bands I discovered them through the end credits. The Panics. One of the excuse me, not the Panics. The Echo Friendly was one of the great discoveries from that show. There you go. All right, we've talked Adam Driver, ass eating, and Steve's search history. We got that tonight. How you doing, buddy? How are you doing I think that's important to establish now because you got a lot going on at home. I'm just blessed you're here.
Well, thank you. I'm always happy to be here. It was season 1, by the way. It was the booty eating scene in Girls.
I don't remember it in season 1. How did I miss that episode?
From a quick cursory search, well, first of all, the first 4 results on that were not. Let's just say they weren't Reddit links and/or Entertainment Weekly. They were websites that ended with X's and things like that.
Okay, but hold on. Did you do incognito search at least?
No, I didn't. I don't. I'm the only person on this computer. It's all
because you're a brave man. Because you're not,
okay. Ow! Speaking of myself, that you can't make me laugh too much, Ken. I'm playing hurt today. I pulled or tore a pec muscle of some kind from coughing so much. After everyone's that since I've been back, I've been sick ever since the baby was born because hospitals.
Sure.
And I went to the doctor today thinking I was dying because chest pain, usually a pretty big red flag.
Okay. Yeah. Walk me through, because I have had this happen about 15 years ago. I can't even remember what caused it. It might have been ass eating. I don't know. But I had such a pain in my chest. I thought I was having a heart attack. And it turns out I pulled like a muscle in my chest. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't go to the hospital. I just took my chances. I thought, this is it. But you went to the hospital.
Yeah, I have 2 children. I have to make sure that I can get to the age of 18. So I wanted to make sure I got myself checked. Chest pain is not something you F with. Like if it was on my right side, it wasn't on the heart side. So if it was on the heart side, I would have emergency room. I would have been terrified. Sorry, I'm watching the game up there and the Lions are going crazy. And so I was not feeling great. So I went to the doctor. I was like, hey, I feel like someone is just punching me in the right side of my chest. Every time I cough, every time I laugh, take a deep breath. And so they wanted to make sure I didn't have pneumonia or anything. So they stuck me with all these little sticky things and did an EKG and did an X-ray. And they were like, well, you don't have pneumonia, so go home and suck it up, basically. So I was diagnosed with a pulled muscle in the chesticle region.
Man, what a cougher. What a champ you are. What
I'm
a champ. All right, thoughts and prayers for producer Steve.
Thank you, Ken.
We're going to get to this in a second here. James Holmes says, worst horror villain, kidney stones. That ain't wrong. That ain't wrong. Tolly Quinn says, I had chest pains for almost 2 weeks, went to the ER. It was just a prolonged anxiety attack. And say, yeah, anxiety will do that now, won't it? It's a killer queen, dynamite with a laser beam. 2 things. I wanted to talk a little bit about tactical frivolity, only because I'm still just reminiscing of the fun that was had at No Kings rallies across the country. And I talked about on Saturday when I got back from the one here locally that, it's a bit showy. It's a bit, all the rookies come out, myself included, and it's fun, and you take your photos and you kind of go on with your life, and you need to kind of keep the momentum going. But I do believe it is a grassroots kind of mentality. The one in Burbank was double the size it was last year. And then I found out the one in Simi Valley here in California near LA, 3,000 people attended. Steve, that is like, how do you explain it? That is like saying suddenly there was 3,000 Union troops hanging out with Robert E. Lee. Simi Valley's a rough red spot, but 3,000 people showed up there, and that stuff's encouraging. This is how grassroots movements do, I believe, begin when they hit the general public. But it was the humor that I found there. It was so entertaining, and I've been following a little bit more the tactical frivolity, which is an official thing. And I'm going to drop a link in here from one of my favorite channels. Do you watch Leisha Miller? Or is it just me?
I'm not familiar. That's just you. Well, maybe not just you, but not me.
No, she's great. She's great. I mean, let me take off the little tracking. Do you do that where you if you drop a link, just delete
all the UTM stuff? Yeah.
All the UTM. Yeah. There you go. Leisha Miller's great. She's a lawyer. She has this channel, and she did a whole thing on how humor can topple dictators, going into detail over Slobodan Milosevic. Is that it? Slobodan? I just remember hearing him. I remember hearing him on Johnny Carson. That was his name was in the monologue of Johnny Carson. I can't drop that link on Facebook. How fitting. Anyways, it was fun to track it. It's most known here in our country, I think, by the Yippies. Did you grow up knowing about the Yippies? Abby Hoffman, Jerry Rubin, yeah?
Yeah. And I'm familiar with the Yippies.
Yeah, the hippies and the Yippies. I think I just Yeah, I think I think they're dropped at a Lennon song, right? I think he mentions the hippies and the yippies. Yeah. So, anyways, I got nothing more to add on this, Steve. I just want your thoughts on, the value of humor. And I will say this going forward, I have explained I am not done yelling about politics. Excuse me, here, for said or anywhere. But I'm also to the point where it's not productive to me personally. It's not productive anymore. And I don't want to sit down to do a show. Like, we all get it. If you're here hanging out with me at this point, you get that every day. There's 30 stories in the news that just make your skin crawl. And I want to find other ways to address it, discuss it, and move forward with it. That doesn't mean that every once in a while you and I aren't going to break out a fuck this guy segment. But I want to find better ways to use humor to point these things out to people swinging through. You know what I mean? Am I off base, Steve?
No, not at all. I think that's why a lot of people turn to art in times of trauma and times of hardship in general, because trauma and hardship bring about the creative juices in a sense. They give us inspiration for reasons to reach out and to express ourselves in that way. That sounds way deeper than it needs to be, other than the fact that, like, we want to laugh when we're so sick of crying and just being frustrated and having your finch class all the time. You want something to have that release, but more importantly than that, I think kind of what you're getting at before, the joking about stuff, the humor, especially when you see all over the No Kings protest, the frogs, the dinosaurs, all of the lightheartedness aimed at it. Yeah, it really is a good mechanism, especially against, I think right now what we're seeing on the right and with the magosphere of taking themselves so seriously, all gas, no brakes when it comes to breaking the rules and doing what they want to do, not being told what's politically correct anymore. Just kind of putting a mirror up to them of, look how absurd all of the things you want to do and say are, that you have people in inflatable frog costumes. Like, you're calling these war zones and saying the National Guard needs to be deployed, and Trump is posting videos of piloting F-18s and dropping shit on people. Yeah. And, these far left radical city burning, protesters are people in frog costumes and unicorn costumes and dinosaurs and people, playing instruments. And I don't want to do whataboutism too much. I was very happy to see that there were 7 million people estimated this week compared to 5 million from the first No King. So that's huge. But imagine if MAGA had 7 million people out in the streets over a course of a day, what that would look like compared to what we saw on Saturday. Not even just from a violence standpoint, but just from a messaging, from a and the fact that the right, and not even just the right, just the fact that the administration came out and was like, oh, there was hardly anyone out there, it was small, they did blah blah blah, like all of the downplaying of it. I think it just goes to show you how effective the organization was, and that there's still value in that. Right.
Franny agrees. Yeah, Franny agrees. Francis. No. You're really scratching an itch. That thank you for that, by the way. The itch. But that's kind of where my mindset is so many folks, and it's even I don't even know what to say anymore. The right, the MAGA, the red hats, whatever. That ilk. They either think and want to be perceived as tough. Think of Hexkith. He's like Cyril Karn in the first 3 episodes of Andor, and that moment where Cyril gives that speech to the officers about to land.
Yeah. If Cyril was really into CrossFit, that would be Pete Hexkith. Yeah.
Him, Kristi Noem, and all the photos and the toughness and the faux toughness, and Trump, we know. But then you have the other flip side where Mike Huckabee or Mike Johnson and definitely JD Vance, they think they're so funny. They think they're so creative. They try to take themselves so seriously in that regard. And it just doesn't mean I'm not above, by the way, a bevy of Chuck Schumer jokes, because I don't know what Chuck thinks he is. But I think taking the piss out of them to a level that can drive them mad has already been effective. This weekend was proof of that. I do think. And it can create some unforced errors. And then I don't know if it changes hearts and minds, I think you approach that in another way, and that might be the one-to-one conversations, that might be the one-to-one journeys that you have with people in your lives, and I've talked about that on my Blathering mailbag. But today, or this past weekend and into today, just drove home the fact that, yeah, more inflatable Trump babies. Like, more frogs.
Right, more frogs. And more frogs is a good tagline for it, Ken, because it's like more frogs means there's not violent protests. It means they're not giving them the ammo to see, oh, look at these crazy lefties burning places down. You know, God forbid a Target gets looted or something like that. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna cry over corporatism. But the fact that it went off, you know, relatively without a hitch. I think the most famous thing someone saw all weekend was a Giants fan getting his ass kicked in downtown Denver, which, you know, it happened to the Giants too. So I can't really. What are you gonna do? But he was also being a dickhead. But the overall messaging, I think it mutes a lot of what the painting that the administration is putting on, especially what you saw Caroline Leavitt say earlier in the weekend, or maybe it was Friday, I don't know when she said it, but basically painting everyone on the left. The Democrats are terrorists, Hamas supporters, and Black Lives Matter. She's like, that's it. That's all the Democrats are. When they're talking about all the unifying things and not trying to incite stuff, they get to paint the message they want to paint. They get to try to paint what the reality is. What I think starts the chips in the armor is really what it comes down to: people's money getting hit. Like when their supporters start to realize that, okay, 600 rural hospitals getting closed is going to have a real impact for me. The fact that we've seen this mass deportation of people in this country who pay taxes but also pay into our system of being labor or being different parts of the economy, we're going to see that impact, like what the stores look like, what prices look like. And that's not to say that that's like anti whatever. It's just consequences have there's going to be consequences to all this stuff, and we haven't really felt it yet. They've been able to go on, we're 8 months in, 10 months in, whatever it is, right? And they've been able to do a lot of the bluster, the hula, like get people riled up kind of a thing. But we still have 3 years to feel the impacts of all of this stuff. And I think by the midterm time, assuming we still have functioning democracy in place, you're going to see real impacts of these people who expected, like, wait a minute, this wasn't supposed to hurt me. It was supposed to hurt the other people, when, again, it's not left and right. It's up and down on how this stuff is going to get impacted. Unless you're at the top of the top, we're all going to get fed a shit sandwich at some point. So...
I am in the you voted around, now you're going to find out phase, which is, I always quote the Steve Martin character who was the trash inspector in The Simpsons and gets tossed out for Homer, and Homer takes over and destroys the city, and trash is literally shooting out of the ground. So they beg him to come back, and he does come back, and he literally says, "You made this mess. Good luck, goodbye," and walks off. I have a little bit of that, which sucks because there's a lot of pain going on, right? That's a lot of the headlines that make your skin crawl. But and here's the thing: I will choose, Steve, to have compassion. I will have compassion. I'll choose to have that. I don't know if that's the tactic everyone wants to employ. I'm not asking anyone to follow me on this journey. But when I see a clip of, our farm's going under, I'm going to have compassion for them. Yeah. Because that's sometimes the only way we learn, is when it slaps you across the face like a fish.
Yeah. Find anyone in your life that knows a soybean farmer and ask what they're going through. Because that is a complete and total shit show. It's... Between that, the Argentina deal, the stuff that we're doing with the stuff that's going on with now it's going into beef. Now we're apparently going to buy a shit ton of beef from Argentina. Our farming, our agriculture industry is getting sold out, so that massive corporations can come in, buy up the land, because that's the most valuable asset in this country is the land. Period. Because you get everything underneath it as well. But it's just, I think it's super disappointing. A lot of people are going to get the day that they voted for, and it may not come in the first 10 months of the administration, as we've seen. It may come with 10 months left in the administration, and they're going to be asking for a life raft, and I don't know who the hell is going to give it to them. But I think to your point, go look at what AOC said at the end of last week about how she's working for MAGA too. She's like, I want MAGA to have a living wage. I want MAGA to have health benefits. It's like this is the difference you're seeing in a lot of the messaging, because I think a lot of the messaging you're coming out of the administration right now is very much, that is not someone who's interested in governing for half the country. That's someone who's interested in governing for the people who voted for him.
Yeah, and people don't follow long enough. We have all those people in our lives who, just even the quick. Well, I don't have a problem with ICE because they're rounding up illegals, and then you get into conversation about, well, that's actually a civil violation. That's why a lot of police departments go to. They don't think that. They think of what they only see, and I think now you're getting to find out, and that's where it is at. But yeah, anyways, all that to say, head on down to Spirit Halloween, get yourself a protest frog costume, and join the fight there. Let's get a little bit to some calls here, Steve. James went to bed. James is calling in, and then I went too long about tactical frivolity. His first pitch, I'm really worried. Oh, Seattle's up.
First pitch isn't. Oh, I thought first pitch was at 9 Eastern. Was it 8 Eastern?
Yeah,
I guess
8 Eastern.
Okay.
Seattle's up. God bless him. All right, let's take a call from Wiley Todd checking in here. I love when Wiley gets a chance to check in. Wiley, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm good, Ken. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, my friend.
That's good. I just want to say shout out to Cal. He's the best.
All right, hold on. Time out. I don't want you to give too much credit to Cal. This is going to go straight to his head. Straight to his head.
Cal's the best. He's the homie.
He is the homie. What's on your mind? And by the way, Wiley, if you're calling in to enter in, Wiley, if I may, let me just set this up in case you want to participate. You don't have to. Okay, you don't have to, Wiley. But we are going to be doing on October 30th, that show, All Hallows Eve. We are going to be doing a mini blather bracket to decide the greatest or most favorite horror villains of all time. Here is the list that we're working with. We'll come back to this, but what I'm asking for any caller is if you have a character, a villain that needs to be on the list, we're going to put this kind of up for debate. This is like Parliament stuff, right, Steve?
Yeah, exactly. We're just putting forward a draft, and we're gonna let the rabble tell us what we got right and what we got wrong.
There you go. So anyway, sorry for that, Wiley. Little business before you call. What's on your mind? Where do you want to go?
Okay, so this is going to feel so out of the blue after your just conversation, but I think that might be fun a little bit. So
Let's do it.
Actually, update from last call I had is I was looking for a job. I finally got a job. I'm working for a music label, small one. So really good about that. I know you love music, Ken, and that's one of the reasons I love listening to your stuff because it's one of my favorite things in the world too.
And if I may, didn't we chatted via the chat on a Wanger show a while ago? You were kind of studying, looking at being a music
supervisor.
Supervisor. Thank you. Yes.
That's the ultimate goal, but with anything, it's always stepping stones. And every place I go, I make sure to mention that's what my goal is. So whoever hires me, they're like, oh, we know this is what he's wanting to do. And luckily this label wants to get into that. So I would be the guy if I stay there long enough to do it. So.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Yeah. All right, cool. Continue. I knocked you off your course a little bit.
Yeah. So, I'm a young guy. I've been following you guys since 12 years old. Sorry to always make you feel old.
don't say it like that, but yes.
Yeah. So I'm kind of dealing with a fun little issue here, but I've been really working hard on trying to be a better person in how I approach things.
Okay.
Just something I've always tried to work on, and mental health, self, and stuff like that. And so there's this girl in high school that was a grade above me that I did not really know of, basically. And recently kind of saw they were interested in the same things as me. And I wanted to reach out to them to kind of start a conversation, just to start someone to introduce myself. And in this world now, I want to do that in the most respectful way possible. Okay. And my only two options I have come up with is to shoot a DM, which I suck at communicating that way. I'm just not good. And then meet in person at a concert they're doing that they're performing, basically.
Oh, they're a musician? They're an artist?
Yes, a jazz musician, yes. And so I feel like that'd be a good way, but I'm a little bit well, that's kind of creepy if you just show up to a show and to do it. And I don't want to be that guy, So
yep.
I just would love to get your experienced opinion because you've lived a lot of years of life on
Okay,
how on
Yeah.
how to approach this in a respectable way where, you know, just some other alternative ideas that you might have.
And I'll put a call quickly at the chat.
This is amazing.
Wiley, this is an amazing call. Anyone in chat, start getting your advice in here, because I am the best person to talk to, Wiley, in the sense of I've never done this properly. Like, I'm not creepy, but like, I've never handled this well. My aesthetic in trying to maybe date someone is two, I am a cold, distant asshole. I don't mean to. I'm just shy and insecure. But every person, I'm talking Grace, my long-term relationship before that, my first serious long-term relationship, and some girls along the way, have all, once I've gotten to know them, have all said to me, without checking notes with everyone else, oh, I thought you hated me the first, like, 5 times we met. Like, this happens all the time with me. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know, should I DM them? It manifests into that. But then my aesthetic is essentially Jon Favreau's Mikey character from Swingers after he gets the phone number at the club up in Silver Lake, and then calls the girl and leaves 19 messages until she tells him to fuck off. That is me, Wiley. So, man, Steve, back me up here. Less is more.
Less is more is good. Yeah, less is more is good. I agree with Wiley though on the whole don't just show up at the show. A good word of advice, again, I've been with my wife for over 15 years now, so I've been out of the game, so to speak.
Right.
But I like to think that I was like a pretty I was like like one of those players that just like had a really good early career, got hurt and was just out of the game, had to retire early kind of a thing, you know? Early. I was hot and bright injury. Like early. Okay. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So those first 3 years, it's like RG3, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good example. So what worked? Because what I'm saying to you, Wiley, if you DM, have you, when was the last time you had regular communication with this person?
So that's the thing. It's I've never introduced myself to this person because they were a grade above me in high school, and you know, kind of lived both ways. And the thing is the thing with the DM is, of course, I would start with the conversation about the same industry we're in, but I don't want it to come across as a work thing because that's not what it is. I'm purely just trying to open the pathway for conversation. Mm-hmm. And I like to think I'm a better, like I talk better than I write. So like meeting in person would be the best way possible for me. And the thing is like she performs, she does a show, and I like jazz. So I would love to just like show up to that thing and be like, hey, my name's Wiley. I used to go to your school. I really like your music, and stuff like that.
I think that's it. I don't even think you do a pre-show DM. I think you're there. You're a paying customer, and then that begins the communication. Is after the show. Hey, how you doing? I don't know if you remember me. I'm so and so. Absolutely love the show. Great, big fan of your work. You know, and I think Steve, is that a safe spot, a confident spot to start?
Again, not the way I would go.
How would you go, Steve? How would you go?
It's just not my personal opinion is not if someone. I'm taking this for if I'm putting myself in her shoes, right? Okay. I'm an artist. I perform. I'm doing my jazz show. You know, it's a Thursday night or whatever. I'm tired of shit. I just got done performing. And this person has now paid for the show, approached me. I'm always thinking of motives and who benefits from certain decisions. So it's just like, did you come to the show to approach me afterwards? Like, it's just weird that the relationship or the conversation starts from a transactional manner. Like Jake has a good point. Just saying hello is fine. That's fine. Guys, this is not who we're this you guys got to let me get to my point. I don't like the idea of the entire thing starting from a transactional manner because it can come off as like contrived in a sense, right? I get you. It's so I think that's where finding that natural way to do it works. Now, here is the way that this can still work in your favor, right? You have a past history with this person, right? You're not just some fan who showed up off the street and said, "Oh, I saw you, blah blah blah. I saw your Instagram. You have a show here. I'm going to show up," because we're not going into weird stalker territory, right? You have a prior past connection with this person. So that's what you lean on. You lean on commonalities. You lean on things that you share with this person that some other person of that show doesn't have, right? Yeah. So that's your in if that's the way you choose to go with this. But my next question was going to be, do you have any other opportunities or regular moments where you would see this person, meet? Do you frequent the same bars? Do you have a circle of friends who are somehow, a friend? Are you 2 degrees removed from this person in some kind of sense? Yeah.
See,
but easing it. If you're going to do the thing where you go to the show, you have to be very just direct about it. Like, just go up to them, say, hello, I am so-and-so. This is why I'm approaching you and talking to you. If you go to the show and try to play it off all cool, like, oh, I didn't know you were here, like that kind of a thing, that's going to crash and burn. So if you're going to do the decision where you're going to pay for the ticket, go to the show, be intentional.
So Wiley, what's the normal connection?
So, to add on to that point there is that, I live in Oklahoma, and it's a very small music scene. Very small.
I'm so sorry. Why?
I hate it. Yeah, I hate it here. So with living here, it's a small music scene, so therefore everyone kind of runs in their own circles, and I'm kind of in the group that's making the moves happen in Oklahoma for music. We're basically trying to do things and stuff like that.
I love it.
And the jazz, I haven't really touched that circle in a way, but I'm sure I know some people that have like kind of ventured in that circle and stuff like that. So I don't know anything more beyond that, but
Continue, Wiley. Continue, Wiley. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm like you, Ken, like you said, you kind of get like a nervous wreck when stuff like that. I'm very much that way. And when it comes to DMs, I'm a anxious freak when I send a message, like I am.
Same.
And I'm like, I don't know. Did I say it right? Did I blah, 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 blah. And again, all I'm trying to do is just kind of start a conversation to see if I connect to this person in any way. If I don't, move on with my life. It's whatever.
Right.
And I feel like, just in my opinion, like in person feels like, okay, you'll know instantly, but in text message, you're just constantly anxiously waiting to know if you're saying the right thing and stuff like that.
I agree with that.
So, So like like this whole situation, thank you guys all for your help. It's just like, you see where my problem lies here. It's kind of difficult because I want to be respectful. I also want to do it the proper way.
I think that will come through. That's okay. Yeah. By the way, I do acknowledge, like, this would be a great episode if my audience demographic was more than 99% male. But I can confirm from my YouTube analytics, it is not. That's just reality. I would love an opposing view on this. When Addie checks back in later in the week, maybe we could get some feedback. I know, first of all, your intentions, I get it, especially in this modern age. I do not want to accidentally come off as a lech. I'll tell you what, this happened to me recently. There is one of my favorite musical artists out there. I've not seen in person or met in person. We have some mutual friends, but we've interacted DM-wise when I would play their music on my radio show, Pop Rockin' Radio, and I would tag them, and then hey, and I love your stuff and everything. Nothing more beyond that. But then, so we DM'd recently, and I just said something. I said something that kind of helped her, and she was like, "Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate what your words were." And I was like, "Oh, great, love it. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to see you next time you perform in LA." But I could have left it there, but then I wrote back, "I'm so sorry. That sounded like a threat. Don't worry. I know this person. I'm normal." And then it just became Mikey on the phone leaving 19 messages. So I'm with you. I don't have the coolness of Steve.
Yeah. And the thing is like, what I've been saying to people when I've been having this conversation, and like, if she was in a relationship and just wanted to become friends and meet this person, it would be so much easier. The anxiety would be gone entirely. Yeah. But the fact that I'm just trying to meet this person and stuff like that, then that's where it kind of gets tricky, because all I'm doing is trying to introduce myself and start a conversation.
You're trying to declare your intentions. I do agree with Steve. I agree with you. Overall, you don't want to so kind of create some sort of system that is faux accidental, and that's not what I was suggesting, but I'm just saying that might be the easy door to a further conversation. You don't want to start off, and you don't want to you know, not that you're going to. You don't want to walk up and be like, "Hey, I'm a big wig in the Oklahoma music scene," but maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you a star. I don't think they do that anymore.
But like
Hey.
one last follow question. It seems like we're
Okay.
kind of leading towards the DM.
Mhm.
How would I approach that, do you think? What is the best way?
Does she follow you? Does she follow you back?
No, she has no idea who I am.
Okay. Yeah, don't DM then. I don't think that's no.
Exactly. It's a complicated situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the DM is not the way to go here. If they don't know who you are, the DM is not the way to go. The way to go is if literally the only input or in way you have to see this person is at one of these shows. It's to get a show. Maybe you make a thing of it with a group of friends. So that you're not the only person at the show. You say, hey, I want to go to the show. I want to blah blah blah. So that you're not just this lone guy at a show who decided to come up to someone. That might just socially. If I'm this girl, if I'm this person, it looks less. Threatening is not the right word, but it looks less weird if there's this guy out of a group of people who approaches me, or just at least the part of the backstory is, hey, I'm at this show with this group of friends, blah blah blah, not just, hey, I bought tickets, came to the show by myself just to see you. You know what I mean? Like, it's all optics.
Yeah.
No one's ever saying that you have bad intentions. It's just, again, you're always looking at this from the optics of the person who has no idea who you are, what the context is, all of that kind of stuff. Right.
And look, I spent an entire life up until my late 20s of pining over people that did not know I was alive on Earth. So I get it. And not celebrities, but like people I knew. So it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, and I on that point, I do have this girl was in choir and a year above me, and I had some friends in choir that know her. And I was talking to my friend today, and he's like, "Hey, I can go with you if you want me to." So that
there you go.
So that's the way to go then.
Hey, I'm here with Joey. Blah blah blah. Joey.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, Joey's whoever it is, like that person is your lifeline for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I'm going to be honest. You kind of held that card in your back pocket to the end, and I think I would have led with that. I would have led with that, Wiley. I love the journey we went on.
Well, that is why I asked early on, like, what kind of degrees of separation do we have from this person? Like, what kind of threads could you pull and be like, oh, hey, I know so and so. Because you could. Again, we're social creatures. We want to talk about things we have in common.
But your intentions, even though you want to declare your intentions are pure. We can hear in your voice that you're not a pickup artist. You're not slinging game. You're genuinely interested, and you want to see if that is true. And this is the way to do it. I take your Fred, go to the show, make first contact.
Thank you so much for your help. This has been fun.
It has been fun. Finally, Steve, we're an advice show. This is what I've been wanting the entire time. Thank you, Wiley.
Thank you.
Wiley Todd checking in here. Rads points out the truth. Hey, kid, Amelia Clark did lock eyes with you. Yes, Amelia Clark and I did lock eyes at the solo premiere, and she thought, dear God, I hope that fat guy passes me and goes to the tri-tip again. And I did. Okay, that's what happened. That's what happened here. King Sport Cow says Loveline. I used to listen to Loveline all the time. It's a tragedy that those two hosts turned out to be complete twits, complete conspiracy mega leaning twits.
You don't have to worry about that with us, but I am down to give out the love advice for anyone who calls in. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you straight.
Let's do it. You are. I love this more. We should make Advice Mondays.
Yeah,
maybe that's what
we'll do. We'll do a little graphic. I'll lower the lights and everything. We'll do a whole. No, it'll be I'll get like a real recliner. If you have again another perk of the Patreon is you not only get tech support from Steve,
Advice
you get
Mondays,
love advice from all of us as
well.
So.
This is great. I love this. More of this. Wiley Todd just launched an empire. Let's. So I put it up in the Discord for those that are in the Discord. You can become a Discord member by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/catnapzok. Steve, first of all, I want to pay you a compliment. I wanted to come up with a topic for tonight's show. I knew I wasn't going to spend an hour talking about tactical frivolity. I've like I said up top, I have grown tired. I get these streams together a day or two out if I'm doing my job right. And I don't like looking at ground news Oh, by the way, I'm still trying to that link you sent me, Steve. I totally forgot I had that. I have to do that today. Totally forgot you sent that to me. I was like, I don't want to just look at the news and be like, oh, what do I talk about today? Like it's not in my heart. So I came up with this. Hey, let's start talking about the greatest villains of all time in horror films, and we can. And then I mentioned it to you, Steve, and then you shot out this list of a top 16. This is impressive, Steve, because you're not even a giant horror movie fan.
I'm not a horror guy. I just played the hits really with this, mostly like of all. So this is, again, don't come at me with these lists or the seedings, folks. We did this back during the regular Blathering bracket. I'm convinced some people have been trying to like hunt down my address to send me dangerous things in the mail because I seeded some Star Trek quote 10 instead of 9. But those are the top 16 that I was able to come off the dome or do a quick Google search of like most beloved horror villains or top horror villain fights and blah, 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 and just come up with you know what I mean? So the top 4, top 6, those are your, main line. Everyone's heard of those kind of people. And then it's the end of the list is where people get mad that like, how could you put so-and-so at 15 or 16? It's like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to get a mix of things people have actually seen versus things that are good, like all that stuff.
What I love, Steve, and you started going to school for broadcast journalism. You were on the radio, but time passed. Yeah. You are describing the feeling a lot of, and I'll say it, content creators feel.
Yes.
Where over the last 10 to 15 years, I'll be like, blah, and someone's like, how could you? And you're just like, or what happened with the buzzball thing when I put that clip on, and I mentioned this recently, but it infuriated me in the most hilarious way. Where I downed 2 buzzballs, and then someone in the comments was like, yeah, so-and-so did 8. And it's like, dude, this is a joke. You're not in on it. Apparently you think this is all real. This is a show. It's a bit. It's a joke. You're the dummy. Not me. You are. And so I love that you called our audience dumb. Anyways, let us bring someone who does have thoughts.
Okay.
And is probably going to yell at you.
To be fair, we've been very clear, Ken. This is a first draft. Nothing's set in stone. We have plenty of time to get this tweaked.
It's this is we were going to come together and have the audience help us refine the list. So Let's do that. He is from the greater Boston area. 90% of the time doesn't have a shirt on, and we love him to death. It's Jared the Tide Pilot. Jared, do you have thoughts?
Oh, I do. I'm not going to yell at you, Steve. I know you're not a horror guy, but yes, I do have thoughts.
Okay, I'm going to bring it up while you're chatting. I'm going to bring this back up. Where did I put that list there? Where did I put that? Oh, this is the real horror of the weekend. The fact that the Miami Dolphins lost to the Browns 31-6.
No,
hey, you won that pick though because you took the Browns.
I did. All right.
No, not
all
Buffalo. Right. That Broncos game was ridiculous. That was a ridiculous game.
It was. All right, Jared. All right, walk me through what you don't like, what you like.
All right, I'm not going to give you shit on the rankings because it's impossible to rank these things.
Mm-hmm.
I very much agree with that with Steve. It's just like, 3 main thoughts came to mind as soon as I saw the list.
Okay, Jared, can I stop you just for 1 second because I realize this is still technically an audio podcast. I'm just going to run through this real quick, okay?
Yeah, no worries. Go for it, brother.
Michael Myers, Halloween. Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. 3, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. Chucky from Child's Play. Ghostface, Scream. Pennywise, It. Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hannibal Lecter, The Silence of the Lambs. Pinhead, Hellraiser. Candyman from Candyman. Jigsaw, Saw. Xenomorph, Alien. Samara Morgan. Samara Morgan, is that her name? The Ring?
Yes.
It's not Samara Weaving, the actual Nepo niece. The Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. Pearl from Pearl. Megan from Megan. Okay, that's kind of a quick rundown of what's on the list thus far. All right, I apologize, Jared. Continue.
Also, sorry for coughing. I thought my regular mic was on.
You've got to change your. I'm kidding. Go for
it. I caught it myself after my cough.
All
right, but like I said, I had 3 initial thoughts. We'll just go as they came to my head. First off, with number 5, our boy Ghostface here. The thing is, how are we judging which Ghostface? Because in every movie, there's different and multiple Ghostface. There's never just been a single. There's always 2. Really? They are at least, sometimes 4.
I've only seen the first Scream. My pitch is it is a concept.
Exactly.
It's
the
a
idea
concept.
of Ghostface. Yeah.
It's an image.
Fair. That's fair.
It's on my thumbnail because I was like, oh, that's pretty iconic.
Yes.
So I would say, oh, Brian Tiller, Brian, is it today you're celebrating your 26th wedding anniversary? Or was it yesterday? That's my rebuttal to you is Ghostface is a concept. Do you accept that?
That's fine. That's just what I wanted, that clarification.
Okay.
Because if you were gonna go, well, I thought it was just this person. Like, now we're getting into nitty gritty.
Okay.
The second point was the lack of classic or older, pioneers of the thing. Because the oldest you've got on here is Leatherface with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You've got, the 70s and beyond here. Where's my, 1960s Hitchcock stuff? Where's my Universal Monsters with Dracula in the 30s, or even older with the original Nosferatu from 22?
Okay. Excellent point. Steve, your thoughts on that? And again, we're giving Steve all the forgiveness in the world because I
love Steve. I love this. This is my favorite list. So
I literally DM'd him and I was like, hey, if you ain't changing a diaper sport, you want to get on the show tonight and maybe help me with this. And he did. Steve, any thoughts on how to work in classics while not overloading the list with classics?
I was actually changing 2 diapers as you sent me that message, Ken. And yes, I love the idea of adding the classics to the list. Vanilla Plain Chip Steve loves the classics. So I'm all for. Here's the thing. I just don't know. I'm not a horror guy, Jared. You know this. So I didn't know if the horror people love those old guys or if they're just because to me, I look at Nosferatu, I look at the Wolfman, I look at Frankenstein, and I'm like, those guys aren't scary. That's like the fairy tales of horror movies. So you know what I mean? That's all. So I just didn't know if that would be too campy or whatever. I'm down for whatever stuff. If you're gonna add someone, you gotta tell me who we're taking off. Yeah,
and my thought there too is and I think maybe they belong on the list. I have maybe one to take off, but they're almost goated. They're almost like a Hall of Fame. It's like you can't compare.
That's a great argument. That is a great argument.
It's for me, it's the Beatles. They're my all-time favorite band. I live and die by the Beatles. I haven't listened to the Beatles in years. I don't put them on mixtapes because that's just that's a separate thing, the Beatles. But anyways, Jared, continue. And who would you take off the list to maybe slip in an old one?
Well, that's a great segue to my third and final point. I must contest the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers for the main reason I can't support that film or its franchise due to the fact that the director, Victor Salvia, was convicted of abusing a child actor in a very awful way, and even
all right, it's gone. It's done. The Creeper's done.
All right, we'll take it off. Jeez, I didn't know all that. Good God, I just remember it was a movie I went to in middle school.
It's one of those I don't know.
Go there, so I said sure, I'll go with you.
It's
and
one
I hate
of
horror
those
movies.
Weird, I guess, unpopular opinions I have in the horror world, where I don't know how the movie. Because it came out after after that movie was made. It's not like he's hiding in Europe making movies. No. It was many years later.
I get that reference. Okay. All right. So the Creeper. Okay. Yeah. Continue.
But it was just. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say it's gotten sequel after sequel and remake, and is a huge thing. And the actors go on about it in the conventions. I'm just like, why do we celebrate this?
I get it. I get it. Anytime someone's like Clayton Kershaw, great pitcher, I'm like, he's homophobic. Get him out of here. I don't care. I don't care how good he was. I don't care.
Talk to me about Alexander Ovechkin.
But I would replace, to bring it on a better note, our man from Psycho, Bates.
Norman Bates.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, possibly there. All right, so that is there.
We're not going too classic, but at least we get some '60s reference in there.
Okay, and a couple of supported produced the films. Alan Smith, he says. All right, my other thing was Xenomorph Alien. That seems like a little bit too far of an outlier to me, right? Steve did a great job here, but maybe that could be a Dracula.
You don't have to keep adding the qualifiers. So I can take criticism. I was a journalism student.
I want you to feel loved and appreciated, Steve.
I do. I'm still here.
All right. So any thoughts on that, Jared?
The only thing, if we were gonna replace it, I would go with the kind of the monster movie that really brought people, did something to the public, and that'd be Jaws. You did not go to the ocean that summer. because you were convinced there was a shark that's going to eat you. And what Jaws did first, Alien continued. So that's why I'm like, I'm not against keeping it on the list, but if we're trying to replace it, Bruce the Shark, as he's belovedly known, would go on for me.
His name is Bruce.
That's Bruce what they call the animatronic.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's learn something new every day.
Viggo Mortensen broke his foot when he kicked that head.
Is it really that? I did. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was Bruce.
That's okay. How many? You probably have not been on the Universal Tram Tour. That's what I'm gonna guess. I'm just gonna guess. In fact, when you get to LA, Steve, that's the first thing we're doing.
Okay.
Go to Universal
I've been on
Studios.
that ride. It's a great.
I didn't realize this was such a blind spot. I'm sorry. I've shamed my family.
Okay. You know what? Steve, I am so glad that the Vikings just laid down defenders on the ground and tripped up the tush push. Okay.
I saw that. That's incredible. Continue.
Okay, but my only pushback is when I'm thinking of the best horror villains of all time. I don't think of either the Alien or Bruce the Shark, because I might as well put Emperor Palpatine in there. And I think that's a different thing. Does that make sense?
I can see where your argument's coming from, but I repush with you need that just classic monster that's not like, a Wolfman monster or some laboratory experiment. Something more biological. I mean, the xenomorph's an alien, but it's still a biological, just something made completely on instinct.
Okay.
Something like that. So, like, you would want, or another example would be Cujo. Would be another great pick. Just
Cujo works for me.
Okay.
Cujo works for me because
over
like
Alien?
Over Alien, because if you're gonna put Alien, and I'll even take the hard stand that if you include Jaws, the shark, why not put the Predator? Why not put the Predator from the first Predator?
You're not wrong.
And I just don't think if I'm putting out a thumbnail, the greatest horror villains of all time, and someone tunes in, they're like, they put the fucking Predator in there, but they didn't put Wolfman. I think we cause more problems if we go that way. There's another voice that I don't want this to become chaotic, so you all listen to me, Detective McCarsell, who has half a shirt on.
We have practiced this on
yeah, don't worry.
Svetnik says this. Dracula isn't on there. I'd rather have Dracula than a shark. But Detective McCarsell,
I thought Dracula was of that level of like he's.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Detective McCarsell, where do you fall on some of these controversies, and are you on Jared's side or are you on the right side?
I'm with Jared, especially with the creeper. Take that off.
That's off. Number 14.
No, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It isn't as known as it should be.
I do remember the story. You're right about that. Norman Bates is subbed in for the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
Got it.
So where do you go, Michael, on this Alien, Jaws, Predator, Emperor Palpatine, or as Narcolepsy says, why not add the F5 from Twister?
I personally think just expand this whole thing to 32. But so
I'm with that.
I'm enough of a horror geek as well. Like I've worked in a haunted house for a decade.
All right. Okay. Here. Hold on. Time out.
I don't get paid for this, fellas. Just
here's the thing. Okay. But Steve, I'm sweeping in to help you here. We've got the Blathering Discord. We can make it 32 if you, as a community, we're going socialist here. If you, as a community, pull your resources and come together with the list of 32, Steve and I will roll with that list.
I think we can.
An hour.
I was gonna say. I think me and the detective can do this.
I will correct. In fact, while we're chatting, since I got the graphic up and no one can see my face, I'm going to create a sub category right now in the Blathering Discord under programming. It's going to be the Blather bracket, and this will be the first entry. All right, continue,
like
Michael and Jared. Continue.
List minus Jeepers Creepers, so that we have a working thing.
Yeah, you creep, just supporting that guy.
God damn it.
First, I would take Megan off. Gonna be real honest. I thought the first movie was lame. Didn't see the second one.
Okay, so here's my argument on that. On Megan and Pearl, it was I wanted to have some some recent representation, you know, something for the Zoomers, something that I didn't want to just be, oh, the horror was 70s to the early 2000s and then everything. So I didn't want to be that guy. That's all. Just saying.
No, that's respect. We can get some modern in there, definitely.
I think the movie is funnier than it is scary. And even by that, I think it's because it's so bad, it's funny.
Okay.
It just is. The movie's more of a meme than a movie.
So it's potentially up for cut, but I like what Steve was saying. When listing the greatest of all time, you do have to put in like a Sabrina Carpenter just to make sure you're representing now if you're also talking about, you know, pop stars in the past. You know what I mean?
I get it. I respect that. It's just I don't think Megan's the one for that to fill that slot.
You're acting like a man-child.
I would
come on, that was a grade A reference.
I mean, Valak from Conjuring.
Steve didn't even react to my reference to a Sabrina Carpenter song.
It was good. I keep my mic muted while I'm typing. My keyboard's loud.
Okay. All right. Momentum. All right, Jared, where's the next issue? Where's the next issue?
Those were my big three right there. I mean,
okay.
Because I understood where Steve was going with the Megan and the Pearl reference. I kind of have a similar thing to Megan. I enjoyed the movie more than the detective, but I also almost live and breathe schlop B movies too. Like some of my favorites up there are Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness. Like, come on,
right?
Man.
Well, look, it's a big genre because you know, like Osvetnik's. I think Ethan may have jumped a little bit later, but we, you know, the Universal Monsters. I think we have to deal with that. Jigsaw from Saw. We did have Jigsaw from Saw in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure no one's just staring at a graphic for the entire time. But here we go. All right, Michael, what is your next big point of contention?
Honestly, I think expanding it to 32 kind of alleviates that.
Really wants that 32. Okay, you got it.
I would have said maybe take Chucky off and replace him with like Reagan from The Exorcist. Or I guess like I love Chucky, but if we're gonna have that heavy of a representation for the slashers just in the top three, or top five even. Like I think you could swap him out for someone who is admittedly from a better movie.
So let me ask
fighting words, but we'll do that later.
Yeah, so let me ask the two of you, because I'm a scaredy cat. Let me ask that. And Mandalorian Jedi says the demon inside the girl in The Exorcist is the scariest thing I can think of, the most terrifying thing I ever saw. However, my former girlfriend, big horror fan, this is in the mid-2000s, and she sat and watched The Exorcist. She had seen it before. She watched it with her 7-year-old brother, and he laughed the entire time. He thought it was hilarious. I think
that's a generational thing.
It's a generational thing.
And I probably am too young because I was not scared. But I think it's still a better movie. Just on a filmmaking, all of that together, The Exorcist is a better movie than any of the Child's Play movies.
So, but yeah. So this is where I was going to go next with you two chuckle fucks here. Okay,
love you too.
You guys love the genre. Steve and I don't. This is why we took it. By the way, this is why Steve and I and no one's fighting Steve here in this. I'm defending Steve for a fight that doesn't exist. You guys are talking about different genres, not genres, but like when you mention The Exorcist or the chat mentions it, it makes sense to me. However, I'm like, well, that's a film. Where I think a lot of these that should be on the list are, oh, did you go to the video rental shop on a Friday night and get the monsters from the toilets? Like, that's a different genre.
I love Ghoulies.
Ghoulies. I think the second time I've mentioned it this week on a podcast. But you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if these two worlds meet. And I don't know the dividing line. It's not maybe for me to be like, The Exorcist is fine art and Child's Play is Friday night bullshit, which is valuable in its own way. You know what I mean? Does that make sense, Michael?
Don't get me wrong. I love Child's Play, but if that was my thing. If it was stuck at 16, I would say Chucky could be subbed out for Reagan and the Demon. And
I mean, Ronald Reagan is a great villain. We can include him in
number one seed.
Number one seed. Svetnik says, "Look, I'm not a."
This opens a whole new door.
Svetnik says, "I'm not a horror person, so I don't really have a dog in this fight." Cujo in this fight, but even I know Chucky. I don't know how you could take it out. I do agree with Ethan on that. I think if the list expands to 32, this is like when the Major League Baseball playoffs expanded, so Tampa Bay could finally get in the playoffs. I think Chucky would stay.
And
That was
I'll also
wordplay,
argue,
and Addie's not here to defend herself.
I would also argue if we're gonna do a sub like that, maybe I would do Pazuzu is the demon from The Exorcist. I would sub him for the Ring, maybe, because the thing with Chucky versus the other slashers is his sense of humor. And to be fair, too, when I said those are fighting words, the detective is right. The Exorcist is basically, in my point of view, the Empire Strikes Back versus Return of the Jedi. But I do love Jedi more than I love Empire, even though Empire is a far better film.
I take no offense. I'm with you too. This is Last Crusade versus Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think that's what I'm getting at. But I also then don't want to overlook the Universal Monster stuff, because that was, I think, fine art at the time in a way. But like this is where it could get hairy, and at some point we just draw the line.
But to your point of, is it fine art versus, did you just want to watch Ghoulies? As a man who's doing horror conventions for decades now, like it is a best of both worlds to us, because we also, as a horror community, do really fight sometimes to try to gain the respect of the film world. I mean, you don't see like any type of horror, even just in makeup department categories for like the Oscars. Silence of the Lambs and Exorcists are very much outliers.
It's genre bias here. All right. So moving along here, I'm dropping viewers. I see. Pearl. Who the hell is Pearl?
Pearl's a great modern example.
She's a villain from the Ty West X trilogy. You may have heard of X.
Oh, it's Mia Goth.
Mia Goth.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So that's
That
her character from 2 out of those 3 movies.
All right. Okay. That sounds like spoilers. Okay. So if that's a go. Okay, if that's a go.
But I would definitely put her in it, because that's pretty great.
What about zombies?
That is an example.
Ethan's asking zombies. Okay. This is
zombie. Yeah, zombie by the way, has to be a separate bracket category.
This is basically becoming a business meeting that is not as entertaining as we think. So we're right at the corner here.
We'll take this to Discord.
This to Discord. JMB says the thing from the thing. By the way, and I'm not teasing anyone in your chat, this could go on for days. This is the fun of this. But you guys have given us great things to think about. So Michael, give me one that's not on there that you think absolutely has to be on.
Ooh, absolutely.
Oh, and it's not so easy now, is it, Chucklefuck? Yeah.
Well, because a lot of the ones I would have said have already been mentioned, but like I have a soft spot for werewolves.
Okay,
I've got a soft spot for werewolves. So
werewolf man, is that his name?
Yeah, Wolfman.
Okay. Wolfman. All right, Jared, you've been very valuable. By the way, I'm not saying you two aren't being entertaining. I'm just trying to move my show along. What is one that is not on there that you think needs to be on there?
Well, my personal favorite is Pinhead. He's going to be my vote the whole way. But one that I can think of would be Victor Crowley from the Hatchet franchise. He's kind of an indie level, known throughout the convention circuit very much well. Good modern slasher guy.
Okay. All right. Mar asked, did anyone mention Leatherface? I think we did, right?
He's on the original list.
He's on the list. Okay. All right. This has been very helpful. I think we've done good work here. Steve, final thoughts to you here as the man who slaved over this list and now had his work shit on.
No, this is, that's a story of journalism, broadcasting, really just anything in which you put out your thoughts for the public to consider, appreciate. I'm good with it. It's all good.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So this is gonna go. I made the category already in the programming section on the Discord. You'll see the Blather bracket, and we're gonna drop stuff in there. And this is where I want the debate to happen. And on October 30th show, we are gonna get drunk, have some candy, and you're all gonna vote for this in one night. One night. I'll try to get some guest commentators. We'll try to do this. And this is going to be a group effort.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, just need to make sure if I'm working that night.
There you go. All right, quit your job if you're in the way. Tully says interesting that Terrifier clown is no mention. It's because we're afraid of clowns, I think. All right, Jared, thank you, my friend.
Oh, of course.
Detective McCarcel, thank you, my friend.
Oh yeah, man, anytime.
All right, that sounded encouraging, right, Steve?
Thrilling.
I tease. You guys are great. 2-1, Mariners are up. Sorry if anyone's not wanting to get spoiled by the game. All right, I think that was productive. Sorry. I don't want it to turn into a conference call, but I think that was productive.
No, I thought it was that was the kind of criticism and energy we needed getting into the proceedings. So
yeah, this has been a great episode today. First of all, Franny has yet to really interrupt the show.
Franny's been great.
Franny's been great. We have launched a new segment, Advice Column. I can't wait to Advice Mondays. And then we really set ourselves up for a big show on the 30th.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to make sure the calendar's clear and all that. I think we'll be all good.
Oh shit! Could you imagine if you're not? Oh God! Don't have another kid. Oh God! Don't have another kid.
I think between the 11 days it's gonna be tough. So
okay, all right, that's fair. Update. I now have 2 kid squirrels in the yard. I now am responsible, Steve, for 6 squirrels, 2 of them children.
2 of which you're directly like a godparent at this point.
Yeah.
You need to write them into the will.
And I was out for a pre-show walk with Franny, and we were going up about 4 blocks away from me, just so Cal doesn't find me. We were going up the street, and I saw like an older gentleman, like legit, like 70s, early 80s gentleman. And I thought, oh God, is he having a heart attack like Steve is today? He was bent over, and he was just kind of hunched over, got his hands down on his knees, and he's like on the sidewalk. And I'm like, oh, my first responder past is coming to life here. And I noticed he had a bag with him. I was like, is he barfing into the bag? He was feeding squirrels peanuts, and I saw my future Steve in 1 second. And in 1 second, I saw who I become.
Yeah, and you understand everyone else walking by and what they think, when they see. Yeah, no, you get it now.
Oh yeah. I've gone into the front yard and I've seen some of my neighbors watch me from their house. I've seen it. I've seen the whites of their eyes when I'm like doing it. And I'm calling him by name. Kylo.
Right.
Like, is that guy, did he name the squirrels?
He named 5 squirrels? Okay.
There you go. Let's bring Kingsport Cal on the show, because this is going to be dangerous.
Not dangerous, Ken. It's not dangerous.
You just woke Franny up. Hello, Calbert. How are you?
How you doing, Ken?
You know what? I'm having a good day. Cal.
Well, I'm here to ruin it. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I wanted to add, I don't know, because I kind of missed out with the whole villain thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have a horror villain to throw in. I think this counts. Jared could maybe vouch for that.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the film American Psycho?
Yeah. You want Patrick Bateman in there?
Patrick Bateman. He's a yuppie. He is a modern day horror villain. He is a great villain.
I don't immediately reject that, Steve. Where do you go with that?
I don't hate that idea. I think that's a good start.
Because I consider that a horror film. There's blood and splatter.
It is. Right. It is a horror film. It's also a great book. It's a very controversial book.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very controversial novel. But Mary Herron took that book novel and made a film out of it. A woman. So anyway, but yeah.
Sorry, you said that. I know what you mean, but there was a little bit of like I like women stuff too. Like there's a little bit of that.
To emphasize that a woman took that novel, which was reviled as a very chauvinistic novel, and made it into a
because
film.
People might have a media literacy problem and not understand that they're
there's themes.
They're attacking as opposed to propping up, right? Yeah. It's like when I'm breaking my own rule. It's like when I get really angry at people that are like, I cannot believe that they had Kylo Ren tell Rey her power comes from Palpatine. I was like, you mean the fucking villain said something you disagree with? Yes, that happens in films. Anyways, sorry, Gen Z. All right, Cal. Thank you. Where else do you want to go?
That's all I meant by that. But I would just like to take that in consideration because that is one of my favorite horror villains of all time. He is a villain. He's not a hero. There's a lot of people that
I agree with you.
a lot
Okay.
of people in that culture, in that yuppie culture, that aspire to be that. It's a very weird
Sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You could say white people. So, all right, Cal.
you know what I mean.
I love that. I do know what you mean. I love that. Thank you. That's a great. We're going to take it into consideration. Please get into that Discord and add it to the conversation.
All right, I'll check it out.
All right.
But
What else
I
is on your
wanted-
mind?
I wanted to know. Well, I did want to say congratulations to Ethan. He's thought about getting a house. I hope he's ready for them property taxes because I just paid mine. I just paid mine today. I have 3 different properties, Ken, and I don't even want to tell you.
Wait
how
a minute.
much I paid
Hold
for
on.
it.
Time out.
What?
Time out. I'm currently researching how to live in my car, and you have 3 properties. I'm all right,
So,
land
Ken,
baron. I'm gonna head over your way.
I've told you time and time again, Ken, to come to Tennessee. Even I, this guy, Ken,
That's
I've
the
got
catch.
3 different properties, Ken. 3 different. Oh, they're the greatest. Well, one of them is really great. That's the one I'm
Okay.
in.
Okay.
But I'm just
All
telling you, I have 3.
All right.
But property taxes and city taxes ain't no joke, Ethan.
They are no joke. Okay, but let's let Ethan have.
a year.
Hold on, Calbert. Calbert, let's let Ethan have the victory at least
Yes,
today.
I mean
okay?
that's great. That's great.
Okay.
It is great, but you'll you'll see, and you got to be your own landlord, son.
Okay,
It's not all. It's not all.
Francis.
It's fine.
No. Francis. No. All right.
Anyway,
all right.
yeah.
All right. Your next thing.
Okay. Now, did you hear about this? I know Steve probably has.
Okay.
Have you heard about this Louvre theft?
I did hear. I haven't read it all the way. I have not read it all the way, but yes, the Louvre was.
Yes.
Was it broken into today?
It was a heist. It was a movie. I'm waiting for the movie for this. This was an elaborate heist.
Are we sure that this isn't like Ocean's 9 and this is just some elaborate promotion?
No, it's not a promotion. Again, this is real. These are professional thieves.
Okay.
The only thing I don't understand is they stole up like some Napoleon jewels or something like
They
that.
stole the French crown jewels. Yeah.
There you go. Yes, the French crown jewels. How are you going to sell it? How are you going to profit from that?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I hate to be this guy. I hate to be this guy, but I did read on it because I'm a news junkie. So so the idea is they think one of 2 things happened, Cal. That these are going to end up in some private collector, basically like a Disney villain's vault or private collection, in which basically only other Disney villains will ever know and see it. Or 2, they melted them down within an hour of possessing them, so they could just turn them into raw gold, raw jewels, and then get them on a black or gray market that way.
So
no way, man.
This was Napoleon's crown jewels.
The French crown jewels. So it's not necessarily Napoleon's, but the French crown jewels. So they were in the Bourbon dynasty and all that kind of stuff. But including Napoleon's, one of his wives, but also all sorts of several different French families.
Yeah. I didn't pick that up because Cal calls in from a Razor phone. I am an expert on the Louvre because I was there for 6 hours. And I could see this is the most impressive feat ever. I want to know how they did this. I have not paid attention to this story. It's nigh impossible to get in there even as a ticket holder.
Dude, the Netflix documentary on the art heist that was in like Boston or something was incredible. This is going to be 10 times better than this. Like, this is going to be so much better.
Brian Taylor's right. So basically Ocean 8. No, this is I'm teasing myself, but I went to the Louvre in 2023. Sounds like I took a crap, but I went there and like you can like there are windows there's windows that are street like level, like you could kind of see into it, like it's just cameras and everyone's around. Like this needs to be studied. You're right. This is going to be the greatest HBO Max doc ever.
So the reasons, again, everything is like just happening, so there's not a ton of information out. But the first things that they're talking about pointing to how could this have happened is essentially government spending. Ken, the budget for the Louvre has been down the shitter for years. The workers have striked numerous times. They've said several times we don't have enough security, we don't have enough guards, we don't have enough staff to stop people from basically just walking in and taking shit. So apparently someone noticed that, and I guess that's what happened.
And Jake's saying they got there at 9:30.
Yeah.
The alarm was hit at 9:37. They escaped at 9:38. I want to know when they walked out of the building, did this music play? Like, that's what I think. And then they all went to a fountain and stared, and they went their separate ways. This is amazing.
Well, they were in and out in 7 minutes. And they did drop something. I can't remember what it was. I heard a little bit about it on NPR.
Oh, that's how they get it. That's how they're gonna get got.
They did drop something that was extremely valuable, and they just left it. But no, what Steve said about melting it, that would be terrible if that happens, because those are artifacts.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I do know what you're saying. So let me Steve. How did they get? How did the theft get discovered? Was it what Cal was saying? They dropped something. The alarms go off.
Well, so yeah, like Jake said in the chat too, an alarm did go off, so that alerted to what that was happening, because it happened like kind of in the middle of the day. There was also like Cal said, they did recover like I think it was like quite literally a crown or something that was dropped.
Yeah.
It was like one of the big main pieces that was essentially just like laying on the
and it was broken.
Okay,
it was broken too.
Hold on, Cal. Yes,
and reading the story, several experts that they've quoted and people that work in the industry in France have said, it's highly unlikely these jewels will ever be seen again. They don't because they didn't recover them right away. They just think within a few hours they've probably been destroyed.
You're gone. You're into the crowd. The Louvre is in the center of town. Like, there's thousands upon thousands of people. It is chaos. Yeah, absolutely. This is I keep saying amazing, but yeah.
Well, you know how kind of cool?
Go ahead, Cal. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Kind of cool this was. They escaped on motorcycles. They left out.
Oh wow!
On
Did they have cigarettes hanging out? Was Charlize Theron part of the crew?
The Italian Job? I don't know, man.
Okay.
But no, it's just fascinating to me. I just wanted to.
I'm glad you brought it up, because I hadn't paid much attention to it. But as I've said many times, I fell in love with the city of Paris. I want to get back there, and now I'm going to read more about it. Final question, you, Cal. Then I got to go feed this dog. If you could form a heist team and steal something, where would you go?
To steal something? Well, I mean,
yeah. If you were going to form your own heist squad, where would you go, and what would Steve and I do on your squad?
Well, the most obvious answer would be Fort Knox. But if we want to get technical, I could. If we want to get regular people type shit, I could do a Walmart heist. I could have you. I'm talking about getting like. Wait a minute. I'm talking about getting a nice propane grill from Walmart. Okay. A good propane grill. Everybody needs one. You could do the security, because you know what to look for. You know what I'm saying?
This is great. I'm the lookout. On the lookout. And by the way, with the way the economy's going, and shout out to Baldur's Skate swinging into chat here, saying they were representing 2 separate No Kings protests in Washington. Love that. Love it. With the way the economy's going, heisting a Walmart superstore is going to be like stealing the crown jewels. So I'll be the lookout. What's Steve's job?
Well, I'm thinking that Steve, because he's got technical know-how, he might be to get in on the comms of the you know what I'm saying? The comms of the security at the Walmart.
Steve's our tech mouse. He's one that's gonna hack into the camera system.
He might be able to disable the things when you walk through that beep when you leave. He can probably disable that, survey the comms. You could be on the ground floor inside looking to make sure that this guy. Now's not the time. Now's not the time. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm Linus. Is that his name? Matt Damon's character. And Steve's in the truck doing this. He's just flipping his pen, and he's doing he's this. He's like, oh no, dude. All right, press engage. All right, it's down. Like, that's Steve.
Yeah, the
All
man
right,
in the chair
it-
roll is great because
Yeah.
like 1 out of
That's
3
it.
times it always goes. Yeah, oh yeah, because 1 out of 3 times my roll something always goes to shit on my side. Like something breaks or I can't get the password, I can't hack the thing, and then whoever is the main character, like you or Ken, you guys like actually overcome it anyways through your sheer charisma or action skills or something like that anyway, and I don't get blamed. So it's great.
Okay, so this hold on, Cal, and this is great, Cal. So Steve is our tech mouse. I am a lookout, a security expert. I'm maybe the front, like my face is on the line here because I'm in the store shopping for grapes, but I'm really giving you baseball signals. What are you, Cal? What is your job?
I am the one that's going to get it. I'm the one
He's
that's going to
Ethan
get
Hunt. Cal is Ethan Hunt.
He's Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
Steve is
Okay.
in the van outside sweating, looking at the surveillance
Steve.
cameras that we set up.
Okay.
He's the one that got us in to set up the cameras so we can
Okay.
see
All
all
right.
JB said I'm Ving Rhames. I like that. Let's go with
Okay.
that.
There you go. And
All right.
and then now Ken, you're on the floor. You're just walking around. We're communicating.
I'm
And
established. Yeah, I'm the ground floor woman. Okay. Hold on here. And then who is our distraction? We need that Carl Reiner character that's going to come in and have the fake heart attack, or like the Casey Affleck, Scott Conn characters that cause a distraction, but they're really so. Do we have is it Jared the TIE pilot and Michael McCarcell are kind of
Yes.
the twins causing
The
problems?
duo.
I like that, the duo. Okay.
I kind of think
Mm-hmm.
that Brady.
Think faster.
I kind of think Brady could do that. I kind of think Brady could do that with his.
Brady. Brady doesn't have the quick talking improv social like that kind of thing that those. Yeah,
I got to be honest. I don't want
I mean that
to.
lovingly, Brady.
I don't want to bring Brady down. Cal, you stepping over.
He's too young. He's too young.
Yeah, Cal. I'm the host. You stepping over me. Brady. I don't want Brady to go down for this. He's too innocent. He's an innocent man.
Yeah.
Okay, Cal. Who else is on the team? What do we got for Ranger Donald?
J&B says Jake Acavetta. He would be good. I mean,
I gotta be honest. Jake's probably on some kind of watch list for Walmart. So when we get in, we're it's either going to be a valuable distraction or we're cooked.
But Sean McCabe, he's a military man. He can distract. He can do things. He can call. You know what I'm saying?
Is Sean the muscle? Is Sean the muscle?
He could be the muscle. He could be. Yeah, that's well. We wouldn't need muscle. I don't think if we did it right, we wouldn't need muscle. You know what I'm saying?
I think
we'd be in and out in 7 minutes.
I think Sean is in another. He's on a building across the way, and he's got binoculars, and he's just kind of. He's making sure that no black helicopters show up or no local, sheriffs or something like that.
Right.
He's in charge. I'm on the inside going, hey, the security guard's asleep. Sean's on the outside going, hey, has the alarm been hit? We got 2 minutes to get out of here.
Yeah,
Well,
Sean answers the phone, talks to a guy, and solves a problem, and then he kind of just goes away. We need a driver. That's the last piece of this puzzle.
Okay, the last puzzle. Mandalorian Jedi wants to be part. I think Mandalorian Jedi. We got Addy to consider. Addy might be our science officer back home who creates like some kind of thing we use. Sean says it's Overwatch. I'm not going to question why Sean knows that term, or question anything. Tully is right, though. We do have to be careful. This show is now considered premeditation. So if there's any large-scale heist from Walmart superstores, we are in trouble.
Propane gas grill.
Okay, but who is our driver? Anyone in chat want to volunteer as the driver? I do want to. Ranger Donald has a little bit of. He says my family is best friends with the district judge, so we can walk free. So we have to choose a Walmart in his district. Okay.
All right. Well, that'll work.
All right.
Well,
all right. We just need a driver. Who's the driver? No one's volunteering for the driver. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I've got a lot going on, so.
You know who might
pull it off? What? Who?
You know who might be a good driver? Is Laserbolt when he's watching. He's watching the Lions game.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And he could drive a big van, or I can see Laserbolt being really good at driving like a big vehicle like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That has all the equipment in it, kind of thing.
Yeah. You know why? Because it's going to be kind of like the end of Ocean's 11 when they're expecting the big getaway.
Right.
They got the whole SWAT kind of, switcheroo, but everyone's going to be looking for cars or motorcycles speeding away, and this slow rolling RV is going to be heading on down the 40, and it's Laserbolt driving us all to promised land.
He pulls up in a Winnebago. He never actually gets out of the driver's seat. He just stays there the entire time, and it's just drops us off, gets us out. Yeah,
and and at one point we get stopped at a roadblock, right? The police, the local authorities are going to put up a roadblock, and then we get stopped, and we're in the back sweating, like sweat's pouring down our crack in our face, and we're like, we're dead, we're cooked, man, we're cooked, man. That's what Jared the TIE Pilot's going to be saying. We're cooked, man, game over, man. And Laserbolt is going to talk his way out of the stop, and we're going to keep on going.
He could have different tags on it.
Okay.
He could have different tags on the Winnebago or RV, what have you. He's like, man, I'm just touring the world. I'm just touring the country. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we get out of that. We get out of that. He would have all the equipment to show.
Yeah. Yep.
And we can get out of there. He could probably, and I bet Laserbolt is skilled enough to build a little secret compartment to where we
we'll all be underneath. Well, it'll be like the Millennium Falcon. Michael McCarthy says, "Well, we just used the grill to cook forest meats," and Laserbolt gets us out of it. All right, we've done it, Cal. Thank you for this. I think we now have a plan in place.
All right, then. Wow.
All right. Thank you, Cal. We did it, Steve. We had a silly show. We established a lot of things. I'm happy with that.
I'm good. I'm glad. Ken, I just realized so I just was reading about this heist thing. I'm sorry, I have to give you one more nugget about this.
Please.
They used like a lift to get up to a window, smash the window, grab the shit, get back in their little lift and get back and then leave. So it's like imagine like a window cleaner kind of thing. They rode a basket lift up to the facade, forced a window, smashed the display cases, and then got out.
They were on the outside.
They were on the outside.
I'm telling you again, as a resident Louvre expert, because I attended there for 6 hours one day 2 years ago. You can see into it. You just walk around and you're like, oh, there's the Louvre. And then I was on the inside when we're walking around. Grace and I walk around. I was like, oh, there's the street we just were on when we got dropped off by the cab. Like, so they were like, fuck it, we're just going in. No one
going to question the window cleaner guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
It's like I have seen some shit in my days of jewelry store, like jewelry store, the smash and grabs, which are this, and I have seen people, two people, talk to like you're the jewelry store attendant, and they're talking to you, leaning over, pointing, and while they were doing that, they were cutting into the glass, and reached in and pulled all right in front of her, and got away with it. I've seen that happen. It's impressive shit. Wow. We don't condone this. Do not anyone in chat join up with an organized crime organization to rob museums or Walmarts. Okay? There we go.
Anti-crime. Just for the record.
We did it. We're anti-crime. Oh, we're going to make a difference, Steve. We'll be back on Thursday. Thanks for your work. If you want to support on Patreon, patreon.com/Napzok. New merch in the merch tier. Also, I'm starting soft launching a consulting and coaching business for those who want to increase or get into the podcasting game or increase their skill level. Look for that on my website. But get into that Discord, join the Blather bracket little section there, and help us decide our field of 32 for the big show on the 30th. Steve, thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, Franny. Tell him bye.
Bye, Franny.
Bye.